Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5. On the heels of Seth Wickersham publishing a book, which I'm sure you've heard about because Caleb Williams in it very candidly discusses his, pre-draft lead up in 2024 of maybe trying to avoid the Bears. His father even going so far as to asking his agents if he could sign with a UFL team and circumvent the draft process so that Caleb could pick his employer the next year, which is wild. It didn't happen. Caleb Williams went to the Bears after going there and kind of, seeing something in the organization. Obviously, they've changed coaches already and brought in Ben Johnson. But I thought I would go through today in the top 5, brought to you by Flag and Anthem, Paul Catalina's top 5 places QBs go to die in the NFL. So let's dive into it. Number 5, the Miami Dolphins. Look, 2 Hall of Famers in their history, Bob Griese and Dan Marino. That's unquestioned. But Dan Marino retired in the early 90s or the mid-90s. Either way, it was the freaking 90s. And since then, they've had guys like Jay Fiedler and David Garrard and a cast of thousands leading up to Tua Tagovailoa right now. And it's been a sad, sad franchise for a very long time now, and a place that players actually want to go. Players love to go play for the Dolphins. They just don't win, and mostly because they've not really answered the quarterback question, and that is what's hanging over Tua right now. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Finally, they have a coach who believes in the organization, who believes that you can win if you do the right things in Dan Campbell, and believes so much in Jared Goff that Jared Goff got them to the NFC Championship game. People thought Detroit was almost a lock for the Super Bowl a year ago. And again, probably going to be good again, resuscitated that career. But before Jared Goff and the trade they made that sent Matthew Stafford off to win a freaking Super Bowl, for crying out loud, it was Joey Harrington and Charlie Batch and Scott Mitchell. And we love Scott Mitchell. He's on the show all the time. But they never had a consistent quarterback through the years. Eric Kramer, go on and on and on and on. It was a nightmare, a desert. Joey Harrington, the second pick in the draft. Huge bust. Huge bust in Detroit. Everybody thought going into the draft, this guy can't miss. Well, he can miss in Detroit. But they finally have good people running the organization. And now one of the more admired franchises the last couple of years. Number 3, the New Orleans Saints. Should I put Archie Manning on here? Probably. Now, it wasn't his fault that the Saints were bad when he played there. He was actually the bright spot. But this is Bobby Hebert. Just any excuse to get Bobby Hebert on this, I just thought was good. But the Saints have one great quarterback in their history. That's Drew Brees. He won the Super Bowl. After that, it's a cavalcade of, that guy? Really? For how long? I'll throw a name back for you. John Fourcade was in a battle with Bobby Hebert for the starting job. Yeah, it's been wild in the Saints when it comes to quarterbacking. And now with Derek Carr retiring out of the blue, they're stuck with second-round pick Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and Jake Haener this year on the roster. So who knows what's going to happen to the Saints in their quarterback position. They better hope that the 40th pick in the draft, Tyler Shuck, works out for them, or they're in for at least one more year of the same quarterback mediocrity or even worse. Number 2.
At Game Time, we revel in life's impromptu moments, like cheering on your hometown team at a Friday night baseball game or dancing the night away at an intimate concert. So we built a ticket marketplace that makes it faster and easier to get into your favorite events at a moment's notice. Discover incredible live experiences, real-time price drops, see your seat view, instant checkout, mobile tickets, and best of all, Game Time ticket coverage. Score the best deals on great seats with Game Time.
The Bears are number 2. And this is what I can say about the Bears that I actually can't say about the number 1 team, but I'll get to that in a second. But the number 1 team is just so bad at it, and I think you'll probably know who I'm talking about. But look, here's Justin Fields, first-round draft pick, already on his 3rd team. Jay Cutler was probably their best one of the last 20 years, and, Rex Grossman led them to the Super Bowl, but really, did Rex Grossman lead them to the Super Bowl, or did the best defense in the league and Lovie Smith lead them to the Super Bowl? Not to mention just the Cade McNowns and all of the bad quarterbacks. And this is the team that Caleb Williams was scared to go to. Part of it is that it's very windy in Chicago. Chicago and our number one team have the same problem. The weather's really cold. They've got lake effect snow. All these things happen, which make it hard on quarterbacks to do it. The organization, not really all that well run overall, although it is a storied franchise. But Caleb Williams could turn that around. We'll see if Ben Johnson can do in Chicago what he helped do in Detroit. But the Bears' quarterback history is abysmal. Abysmal. From the about 1960 on, they have like little tiny bright spots of a season or two. You know, the Jim McMahon and the 85 Bears, or, you know, Jay Cutler's nice little run, or Rex Grossman had one good year when they went to the Super Bowl and lost, by the way. But other than that, really not much hope when it comes to the Bears and quarterbacks. And number one, the Cleveland Browns. You see it, the famous jersey, which has run out of space here and can keep going on. But now you throw Deshaun Watson on that list. You throw Jameis Winston on that list. You throw a lot of other people on the list. You know, Joe Flacco's on the list. Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders might wind up on the list. Kenny Pickett might wind up on the list. This franchise has been so bad at quarterbacking. As a matter of fact, they really only have two quarterbacks of note in their history. A really good 4 to 5 year period with Bernie Kosar in the mid to late 80s, and Otto Graham. And if you know who Otto Graham is, you are probably on Social Security right now. If you don't know who Otto Graham is, you are the three guys I'm talking to in the studio right now. They don't know who Otto Graham is. He was the quarterback back in the 50s and 60s and helped Cleveland win NFL titles. That's when they were not a joke. I don't know if you guys can believe it out there, but there was a time in America where the Cleveland Browns were not a joke. Unreal, right? You also used to be able to smoke on airplanes at that time. Wild. But the Browns, you know, it's just, I know you're going to get excited because you're going to make a lot of money, right? You're going to make a lot of money when you get drafted. But when it's like, when the Cleveland Browns select this quarterback, you're like, ah, crap. I've got to join this legacy, because the organization never really had a good owner. Really doesn't right now in Jimmy Haslam. In fact, one of the more, I'll politely call him erratic owners in the league. So, number one, obviously, the Cleveland Browns. And if you know who Otto Graham was when I was talking about him, please make sure you take your medicine before you go to bed. This has been the Top 5. The polls are coming up right now.